don't judge me. I don't even know how it happened. I swear, I am not a loose woman. It all happened so fast. 1 minute, I was saying hi to my neighbor, and the next minute, I was in his bed, and his girlfriend was 9 months pregnant. It all started a few months ago when a new couple moved into our apartment complex. I didn't really pay attention at first. I mean, people moving in and out all the time. That is normal. And honestly, I wasn't in the mood to make new friends. I only noticed them because their apartment is directly opposite mine. So it was hard not to see the movement. The woman came out of the car slowly, holding her belly with both hands. That is when I realized she was pregnant. She looked young too, maybe my age or a little younger, but you could tell she was tired. The man walked around the car to help her. He held her hand and guided her like she was carrying something fragile. He even bent small to help adjust her dress when the wind blew it up. I wasn't staring, no. I was just locking my door and I saw everything because they were right there. He went back to the car and started removing their bags. He carried almost everything alone. The woman wanted to help, but he told her to relax. He kept saying, "Relax, baby, I've got it." I don't know why, but that part stuck with me. Not like I cared about their relationship. Oh. It was just interesting to see a man talk like that to a woman. He made 3 trips from the car to their door. Anyway, as they settled in, I didn't talk to them. I wasn't planning to. I am not unfriendly, but you know how apartment living is. Everyone minds their own business. The next morning, I heard them talking softly outside. The man was asking her if she slept well, and she said her back was hurting her again. He rubbed her lower back in slow circles, right there in the middle of the compound, like he didn't care who was watching. Me, I just passed by them quietly, went to buy bread, came back, and went inside. I didn't even greet them. But throughout the week, I couldn't help but notice small things. Not because I was spying, no. My kitchen window faces the corridor, so anytime I open it to wash plates, I see shadows passing. That is all. I saw how he always held her waist when she walked, how he shielded her belly from people passing by. It wasn't romantic to me or anything. It was just noticeable. Something you don't see every day. The woman always looked calm and gentle. She would greet me sometimes with a soft smile. I would greet back and go my way. We weren't friends, just neighbors, nothing more. If someone had told me that this same couple would become the center of my entire life drama, I would have laughed, because truly, at that time, everything seemed normal. Nothing hinted at what was coming. After a week of living opposite them, I started noticing little things about their relationship. It wasn't like I was intentionally monitoring their lives, but you know how some things stand out on their own without you forcing it. Like anytime the woman came outside to throw rubbish, the man would follow behind her slowly, ready to hold her arm in case she stumbled. Sometimes they would be going out, and he would walk in front a little to check the ground before she stepped there, like he didn't want her to step on stones. Who does that in this Ghana? Then one afternoon, I saw him kneeling down on the corridor, adjusting her sandals because the strap had come loose. She held a shoulder while he fixed it. I only saw it because I came out to turn off my gas cylinder. I didn't even stay long to look. But that thing stayed in my mind, not because of him, but because I had never had anyone treat me like that before, like ever. In my own life, men have handled me like I am stone. If I talk too much, they say I am nagging. If I complain about something, they say I am dramatic. So seeing this small romantic thing happening right in my corridor, I won't lie, it caught my attention. Just as someone who has experienced nonsense in relationships. One time, when I was returning from work, I saw him sitting beside her on the steps, rubbing her feet softly. Her face looked tired, swollen. He was talking to her in a very soft tone. You are almost there, baby. Just a few more weeks. I am proud of you. Even the way he opened the car door for her anytime they were going somewhere, I noticed it, but I didn't think too deeply about it. I didn't crush on him. Nothing like that. But what I found most surprising was when I finally realized they were not even married. I overheard her call her mother on the phone one day, saying, no, mommy, after the baby, yes, after the baby, we will do the marriage and everything. I didn't think anything bad about it. Oh, people have kids before marriage all the time. It is not a big deal. But it made me respect the man more somehow. Because some men will treat you anyhow if you are not married. But he behaved like a proper husband already. All in all, they seemed very happy. A peaceful couple. Nothing about them suggested that trouble was coming. Nothing even hinted at it. Everything was just normal woman, normal man, normal neighbors. If someone had shown me a picture of the future that time, I would have fainted. Now, even though we lived opposite each other, I didn't really talk to the pregnant woman like that. We just had a polite relationship. Hi, hello, good afternoon, take care. That is all. Nothing deep. Some days, I saw her sitting outside, rubbing her belly like she was trying to calm the baby down. She would smile when she saw me, but she never tried to start a conversation. And honestly, I was fine with that. I am not the type who gets close to neighbors easily. I like peace. The man, on the other hand, barely spoke. He would nod at me in the mornings, sometimes lift a hand slightly as greeting. Very reserved man. I didn't want to bother him either. I know some men don't like talking to their neighbors too much. So really, we were not close. It is funny how sometimes you can live next door to someone and still feel like strangers. If only I knew how close we were about to become, I would have avoided that whole corridor. Because everything changed the night the lights went off. That night, ECG decided to disgrace all of us as usual. I was in the middle of watching a movie when everything went total darkness. I just sighed. At this point, we've all accepted our fate in this country. It was too hot to stay inside my room, so I picked up my phone and stepped outside for some fresh air. I wasn't going outside because of anybody. My room was just like an oven, and you know how heat can make you restless. When I came out, I saw him sitting on the long cement bench in the compound. He had his phone in his hand, brightness turned high, TikTok videos playing loudly. The glow from the screen lit up his face in a funny way. He was laughing at some video. I didn't want to stand around awkwardly, and my own room was too hot. So I just quietly sat on the other end of the bench. Not beside him, just close enough that we were on the same seat but not touching. It wasn't planned. I wasn't going to talk to him. I didn't even greet him. I just nodded small. He nodded back. Then I opened my phone and started scrolling too. The compound was dark. The whole place felt quiet. You could hear people talking faintly in other apartments, babies crying, normal Ghana vibes. His girlfriend has not been around for 2 days, so I knew she was not there. At some point, the breeze started blowing nicely. I leaned back a bit to feel it. I think he did it too because our elbows brushed, just small, not anything deep. But it made both of us look at each other briefly. It wasn't awkward, just one of those things that happen. I don't even know who spoke first. Maybe it was me, maybe it was him. I honestly can't remember. We started talking about the lights, about the rain that looked like it might fall, about work, about the noise in the next compound. Very ordinary conversation, nothing serious. It wasn't flirting. It wasn't anything romantic. We were just two neighbors sitting outside because ECG failed us. But then, somewhere in the middle of the conversation, he looked at me for a few seconds, like he suddenly noticed me properly. I froze small, not because I liked him, but because the eye contact caught me off guard. You know when someone looks at you too directly and your heart skips for no reason? It was that kind of moment. I looked away quickly. I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable. But then he looked at me again, slightly leaning forward. I don't know why, but I felt something shift in the air, like the conversation changed without words. Before I could even think or adjust myself, he leaned in and kissed me. Just like that. I didn't plan it. I didn't expect it. I didn't even understand how it happened. 1 second, I was scrolling TikTok. The next second, his lips were on mine. Welcome back to my channel, babe. How are you doing today? I hope the body is doing amazing. If you are new here, I'm Vera, but you can call me V. And I share real life stories that will shock you, break your heart, inspire you, and sometimes make you laugh. So if this is something you love, please subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. Today's shout out goes to Forever Sylvia, Elizabeth in Cancer, and Awajo B8103. They were the first people to comment on my last video. Thank you so much for the support, babes. You know I love you. And now without any further delay, let's continue the story. I felt like my whole body paused, like my brain went blank. I didn't push him. I was just there. Then everything after that moved so fast, I still can't explain it clearly. When he kissed me, I swear everything inside me just stopped. My breath caught. I don't know how to explain it because I am not the type who just kisses someone like that. It was unexpected, sudden. I didn't even think. That is the part that scares me. It was like the whole moment was controlling me instead of me controlling it. He pulled back for a second and looked at me. Not in a will you let me way, more like he was trying to understand what just happened. And I should have stood up. I should have walked away. But I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I was confused. I don't even know. What I do know is that when he leaned in again, I didn't stop him. This time, the kiss was deeper, more hurried, like we were both losing sense of where we were. I felt his hand on my waist, then on my back, pulling me closer. And my body followed, even though my mind was screaming, "What are you doing?" Before I fully understood what was happening, we stood up. I can't remember who stood first. It was like we stood together. He held my hand, and we walked into his apartment. Hey! Yes, that fast. Yes, that easily. I don't know what came over me. The lights were still off, so the room was dim. But I could see the shape of his sofa, the baby things on the side, a few shopping bags. He closed the door, and suddenly we were kissing again, faster, harder. His mouth was all over my body. I remember him pressing me gently against the wall. I remember my hands holding his shades. I remember breathing heavily. I remember clothes being removed. I don't even know who undressed who. It was like our hands were moving on their own. He did things to me that I cannot even write on here. 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes of madness. Two people who had never even talked properly, doing things that made no sense. When it ended, reality hit me like cold water. The silence in the room suddenly became loud. I looked around and saw his girlfriend's slippers near the door, her hospital bag packed in one corner, her baby clothes folded on a chair. My chest tightened with shame. What did I just do? The words kept repeating in my head. He didn't say anything, not one single word. He just sat on the sofa, breathing hard, looking at the floor, barely looked at me. I picked my clothes quickly, dressed as fast as I could, and left his apartment without looking back. When I reached my room, I locked the door with trembling hands. My legs felt weak. My heart was beating like something was chasing me. I sat on my bed and cried. I felt dirty. The next morning, I woke up feeling like someone had dropped a stone in my stomach. I didn't even sleep well. I kept turning, thinking, overthinking, regretting, asking myself questions like, what does this mean? Why did I let that happen? Is it going to act weird? Should I apologize? Should he apologize? But when I stepped outside, guess what? It was normal, as if nothing happened. He walked past me like we were about to be strangers. Not even awkwardness, not even a small sorry smile, nothing. Just good morning, with his calm voice, the same tone he used before we even talked. I smiled back like everything was fine, but inside my chest, chaos, complete chaos. I thought, okay, maybe he's shy. Maybe he feels guilty. Maybe it is too early to talk about it. But the whole day passed, not a message. This man didn't even call me. We had exchanged numbers the night ECG disappointed us. You know, normal neighbor thing. He had even said, if anything, we can check on each other. So I expected something, even if it was just, are you all right? Or we need to talk. Or that was a mistake. But nothing came. That evening, I heard him laughing with his girlfriend outside, laughing, playing with her belly, telling her to sit carefully. I was in my room, sitting on my bed, listening to their conversation through the thin walls. And I won't lie, something inside me twisted. Not jealousy, oh, no, it wasn't that. I am not interested in taking someone's place. It was confusion, pure confusion. Like, how can he act like nothing happened? How can someone sleep with you and then pretend you are invisible? If I had rejected him, he would have probably been offended. But because he started it and I followed, suddenly it gets to act like a saint. I kept replaying everything in my mind. His hands, his voice, the way he pulled me inside like he couldn't control himself. The way he kissed me like he meant it. Tell me, how does someone do all that and then forget you exist the next morning? At one point, I even thought maybe he was waiting for me to make the first move. Maybe he didn't know if I was angry or ashamed. Maybe he felt awkward too. But the more I waited, the more it became obvious. He wasn't thinking about me. Not at all. Not even for 1 minute. The following day, I saw him brushing the corridor. His girlfriend was sitting on a stool with her feet in a bowl of warm water. He was telling her stories, making her laugh. He looked so peaceful, so comfortable. And again, no sign that anything had happened between us. No weird look, no tension, nothing. I felt invisible, used and stupid. And the annoying part, I didn't even mean for this to happen. I didn't plan it. I wasn't chasing him. He was the one who kissed me. He was the one who held me. He was the one who pulled me inside. So why am I the only one feeling guilty? That is when I told myself, no, this man is not normal. Something is off. Maybe he has some charm or something, because this silence is not making sense. And even though I tried to act normal, that silence started eating at me every single day. Then it happened again 2 weeks later. I avoided him the best I could. Even when he passed by my door, I would turn my head quickly and pretend I was busy. Even when he greeted me, I would give small smile and enter my room fast. But those 2 weeks did something to me. It left me feeling unsettled, like something was unfinished. Anyway, let me explain how the second time happened. Because honestly, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't your fault, babe. Let's continue. That evening, the clouds started gathering. You know that kind of Accra rain, where the wind alone can blow your slippers away. Yes, that one. I was cooking stew. Everything was almost done. Then I checked my cupboard and realized I had forgotten to buy salt. Normally, I would just put on my slippers and run to the provision store. But the rain started immediately. There was no way I was going out in that. I looked at my stew bubbling on the stove and sighed. I needed salt, just small, even half teaspoon. I thought of all my neighbors. I have neighbors on both sides. But without thinking too deep, I walked to his door. I don't even know why I did that. Not because of anything, no. It was just the closest and the only one I knew would be home. His girlfriend left the day before and he doesn't go out when his girlfriend is not around. I knocked softly. The door opened almost immediately. He stood there, wearing shorts and a plain white t-shirt, looking surprised to see me. I felt awkward instantly. I should have turned back, but I just blurted out, "Please, do you have small salt? I am cooking stew, and I forgot to buy some." He nodded, but didn't smile. He just nodded slightly and turned to go inside. Before he could take more than 2 steps, lightning flashed. And in that moment, we both paused. I don't know how or why. Maybe the rain changed the mood. Hey, how can the rain change your mood? Okay, let's continue. He turned around. We looked at each other and everything felt charged. He walked back toward me, slowly, like something in him had been waiting. Before I could even decide whether to step back or talk, he grabbed my waist and pulled me inside his apartment. He kissed me immediately. The kiss was firm, deep, and desperate. And again, I didn't stop him. I lifted my hands, holding his shirt. I felt his breath on my neck, his hands on my back. It was happening again, fast, intense, and unstoppable. He pressed me against the wall, and we had sex standing, and then we did it on the sofa, and then on the floor. By the time everything ended, I felt breathless, shaky, confused again. He didn't speak, not one word. He just stood up, walked to the kitchen, opened a small container, scooped salt with a spoon, and put it in a small rubber, put it in my hand and said, "Here." And that was it. No hug. No, we shouldn't have done this. No, are you okay? No compensation. Just salt. I stood up, pulled down my dress, arranged my hair quickly, and walked out. When I got to my room, I shut the door and leaned against it. My hands were shaking. At that moment, I didn't even feel guilt. I felt used, confused, and thrown aside. Because how can someone take your clothes off like that, touch you like that, breathe you in like that, and then hand you salt like you are a nobody? Who does that? The next morning, after the whole salt incident, I woke up with this heavy feeling in my chest. I didn't know how to act. Should I avoid him? Should I greet him normally? Should I pretend I have forgotten everything? I didn't have answers. But when I opened my door, everything became clear. He was already outside with his girlfriend. She was sitting on the corridor chair with her legs stretched out. He was kneeling in front of her, gently massaging her feet with warm water and shea butter. She looked so tired. Her eyes were puffy, like she hadn't slept well. Her belly looked bigger than ever. She was almost due any moment. He was talking softly to her. "Relax, baby. I'm here. Tell me where it is hurting." I stood there quietly, locking my door, pretending not to notice anything. But inside, I looked at her and genuinely felt something heavy push into my throat. Not jealousy. No, not that. I am not trying to take anyone's man. I didn't even want him like that. It was more like pity. She had no idea what happened the nights before. No idea what a caring boyfriend was doing behind her back. No idea that the same man massaging her feet had been touching my body just hours ago. She probably thought she was the luckiest woman in the world. I even wondered if she would still look so peaceful if she knew the truth. I really felt pity for her. But I also felt small anger too. Because everyone keeps assuming that men like that don't cheat, that men who treat their women nicely are loyal, that the quiet ones are always faithful. But look at what happened. He didn't even blink when he pulled me inside. Didn't even think twice. He did it so easily that sometimes I wonder Is this something he does often? Because you can't be that comfortable cheating if you are new to it. But then again, why did he choose me? Was I too friendly? Was he testing me? Did he think I was easy? And as if the universe wanted to stress me more, she looked at me that morning and smiled, saying, "Good morning, dear. How are you?" I swallowed hard, forced the smile, and said, "I'm fine. You?" She sighed, rubbing her belly. "I'm just tired. This baby wants to come by force." He laughed and kissed her hand. Just like that, my heart twisted again, not because I wanted what she had, but because it could give her all this softness and still come for me in the dark. I know people will judge me, and maybe I deserve it, but that morning was the first time I genuinely felt something wasn't right. He must have done something to me, because why did I still feel something whenever I saw him? And why was part of me angry that he treated her like a queen, but treated me like a secret? Let me not lie, it began to bother me. One night, I took a deep breath and sent him a short message. "Hey, can we talk?" Message delivered, no reply. I waited an hour, nothing. I told myself maybe he slept early. The next day, I sent another message. "Are you okay?" About the other night, message didn't deliver. I paused, looked at my screen again, opened WhatsApp, refreshed, still not delivered. That is when my heart dropped. I tried calling him once, twice, three times. It didn't even ring. At first, I thought maybe network issues, but then something told me to try with my other phone. So I used my small yam phone, the one I use for Momo, to dial his number. It rang. My chest tightened. I tried again with my original phone. It didn't go through. Then it hit me. He blocked me. Blocked. Just like that. As if I was disturbing him. As if I was the one who came to him. As if he didn't pull me inside twice. I felt heat rush to my face. I didn't love him. It wasn't about feelings. It was about principle. Let's continue. "How do you touch me like that? Kiss me like you are hungry. Sleep with me like you are starved. And then block me like I am a nuisance. Who does that?" The annoying part is that after blocking me, he still acted normal around me. The same polite greetings, the same calm face, the same gentleman behavior. If anything, he was even treating his girlfriend even better. Every evening, I saw him rubbing her swollen feet. Every morning, I heard him telling her, "Don't stress yourself, baby. I will do it." Why am I laughing? Let's continue. Sorry. One time, I left my room and almost bumped into them. He was holding her hand as she walked slowly down the stairs. When he saw me, he gave a small smile, like I was just another neighbor. My blood boiled. Because if you knew your actions mattered nothing to you, why did you involve me? Why kiss me? Why touch me? Why sleep with me twice? Why pull me inside your room like you needed me? And now suddenly you are holy? No, something was off. I started thinking maybe he had some charm, something that made me lose myself around him. Because I am not someone who behaves like this normally. After the block, something inside me refused to settle. I kept trying to tell myself, it is fine. I don't even care about him like that. It is not that deep. It was just a moment. But anytime I saw him with his girlfriend, anytime I heard his voice, anytime I saw how gently he touched her, it was like something twisted inside me. If you want to act like a saint, then behave like a saint. Don't be touching me at night and then massaging someone else's feet in the morning. It was the hypocrisy for me. Over the next days, he became extra perfect. One morning, I came out to fetch water from the tap. He was outside, spoon feeding his pregnant girlfriend oats. sitting in front of her like a caretaker, wiping her mouth gently with tissue. Slowly, baby, you haven't eaten well this week. Meanwhile, this same man was the one who dragged me into his living room like he was on fire. But now he was acting like Mr. Boyfriend of the Year. Later that afternoon, he helped her walk from the corridor to the car, holding her waist, supporting her belly, telling her, "If you feel dizzy, tell me, I am right here." I watched from my window, and the more I saw, the more confused I became. One time, I heard him telling her, "You are the most beautiful woman in the world. I love you." My stomach turned. Then immediately, I felt bad for feeling that way. I mean, he's a man. He's supposed to love her. But then, why did he come for me? Why kiss me? Why sleep with me? Sometimes, I even wondered if he remembered everything properly. Because this man acted so calm, like someone who had nothing to hide. It got to a point where I couldn't hold it inside anymore. It was too much. Every day, I would come outside and see him being the perfect man. And every time it happened, something inside me kept saying, "This man is not who he pretends to be. This woman doesn't know the truth. She deserves to know." I didn't want to be the cause of anyone's heartbreak. I am not wicked. I am not jealous. I am not trying to take a man. I am just being honest with myself. Because what if this is something he does often? What if he cheats easily? What if he gets her pregnant again later and still goes around sleeping with neighbors? Sometimes I would look at her sitting outside and think, if this was my sister, I would want her to know the truth. So why should I stay quiet? I kept trying to talk myself out of it. I would say, leave it. It was a mistake. Forget it happened. He doesn't care. Move on. But then something would happen again that reignited my anger. One evening, they were sitting outside and she was complaining about her back pain again. He placed her feet on his lap and said, "You are safe with me, baby. I will never stress you." I nearly choked on my own saliva. Never stress her. He stressed me twice. And now he's forming angel in front of her. I kept thinking about how he blocked me like I was trash. And the fact that he treated her like royalty made me feel insulted somehow. Like I wasn't even important enough to feel guilty about. I couldn't sleep for 2 nights straight. My mind kept going in circles. Should I tell her? Should I not? Am I doing too much? Or am I doing the right thing? Then something else hit me. She was 9 months pregnant, almost due. She was already stressed. So if I tell her now, what if she collapses? What if she starts bleeding? What if something happens to the baby? I told myself, let me just wait till she gives birth. After that, she can decide what to do. But another part of me said, what if she marries him immediately after giving birth? What if you speak too late and she thinks you are lying? Everything finally came to a head last week. For days, I had been avoiding both of them. Then something stupid happened. I was coming out of my room to hang a towel when I saw the girlfriend sitting outside alone. She looked exhausted, like she was ready to give birth right there on the corridor. She smiled when she saw me. "Good afternoon," she said. "How are you?" "I'm fine." I lied. "You," she sighed. "I'm tired, but we thank God." The way she said it hit me that she truly had no idea what was happening behind her back. And then, right on cue, he walked out from behind her with a bowl of watermelon. He was feeding her with a fork, wiping the juice off her chin, massaging her shoulder, kissing the top of her head, right in front of me. I don't know what kind of demon entered my chest at that moment, but something inside me snapped. Not because I wanted him, but because he had the audacity to act like the perfect man right in front of me. I felt anger bubbling inside me, but I swallowed it. Later that day, when I entered my room, I broke down crying. Everything just poured out. The guilt, the confusion, the disrespect, the shame. And that is when I told myself, I can't keep this inside. It is too much. She deserves to know the truth. What if he does this again with someone else? What if he cheats on her when the baby comes? What if he gives her an infection or something? But then again, she's 9 months pregnant. Her baby is almost here. If I tell her now, she could collapse. So now, here I am, stuck with a secret that is burning my chest. And I genuinely don't know what to do. His girlfriend is 9 months pregnant. They are about to get married after the baby. He cheated on her with me twice. He blocked me like I am trash. And now he acts like nothing happened. I really need advice. Should I tell her now, even though she's heavily pregnant and already stressed? Or should I wait until she gives birth so I don't risk her health? And to be honest, am I wrong if I tell her the truth? Does she deserve to know? Or should I mind my business and forget it ever happened? I'm confused. Please help me decide. You know what? I'm not going to say anything about this one. I am leaving it for you. She's confused. She wants to tell the pregnant girlfriend she slept with a man twice. But she doesn't know if she should do it now or wait till she gives birth. Also, she wants to know if the pregnant girlfriend deserves to know the truth, or if she should just mind her business and forget it ever happened. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think she should do? She needs your opinions. She needs your advice. Leave them down below. And now, Abi, you know that this is a judgment-free zone. We listen, we don't judge. So please be kind to her in the comment section. And if you've not subscribed yet, babe, come and join the family. Please subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.